Christmas is canceled this year. No Black Friday, no Cyber Monday, sales prices that they try to pass on for people. But nobody else need no more TVs. We don't need no more TVs.
The majority of people that are boycotting Christmas, it's because they can't afford to do Christmas. Yeah.
Everybody that I am close with, I love you, but I'm not buying gifts, and please do not buy me gifts. I don't need another daggone thing in this house.
You can't cancel Christmas.
Watch us. You're the real Grinch who stole Christmas. Yeah, you, the American consumer. You want to know why? Because it's come to my attention that many of you are refusing to shop, refusing to overspend, and refusing to go broke for the holidays this Christmas. And depending on who you ask, you're going to get a different reason why people have their wallets locked up and not interested in buying any gifts.
And while we're on task, go ahead and cancel Christmas. Go on and start that family chat and let them know that you're not exchanging gifts. Hopefully everybody in your family is on board. And I know you're thinking about the kids. Well, Facebook Marketplace. If you're going to buy something for somebody, buy something small and local. You know, support a small retailer. But it's going to be Red Friday for these folks this year. Someone called it that in my chat. It says it's not going to be Black Friday this year. It need to be Red Friday. And I agree 100%, hashtag Red Friday. But it's a good opportunity to teach your kids that freedom ain't free. And it's a conversation that need to be had because, you know, somebody going to have to sacrifice and we going to have to fight for them. So here we are. And those retailers, they're going to know. I know they sitting on inventory from last winter. And guess what? They going to have that same inventory next winter.
Ooh-wee. It's a tough crowd this year. Y'all was going hard for Black Friday. Now y'all canceling Christmas.
It's like, seriously, let's do this. There were Christmases I had as a kid where my mom didn't have any money. She made a sweet potato pies, and that was fine. You know, they were good. We were just as happy. We were like, who's in Whoville? And I think that's how it needs to be.
And now y'all the Grinch. It's funny she said, they was like, who in Whoville? Oh, how the tables have turned.
Do something, switch it up a little bit. Do some community service. Spend some time, you know, serving in a soup kitchen as a family. Donate some money to like a homeless shelter. Help somebody else this year. Do something that really counts if you're going to do something. But if you buy some, please buy something small and local. Don't give these retailers nothing. We're not spending money. October, November, December, they make a whole lot of money off of us. And here's the time to teach them. We're not spending no money. Red Friday, cancel Christmas.
Now I need to know, are y'all serious this time? Because I seen y'all at Target on Black Friday cutting up for them swag bags. And what a disappointment that was, by the way. That Target really put some Uno cards in there. Anyway, I also think it's a great idea to do things like donate, volunteer at a soup kitchen, shop local. But if you're gonna look on Facebook Market, you gotta be careful. A lot of scammers on there. A lot of people try to take advantage of other people during the holiday. So make sure if you're gonna get something on there, especially if it's an electronic, that you don't just buy it or give somebody the money before you've actually made sure the product is legit and working. And if you are gonna go Christmas shopping this year, there's nothing wrong with that either. But make sure you're doing what your budget can afford and make sure you have a budget, because a lot of y'all are looking at people's wish list from your family and you're like, hey, this is what so-and-so say they want. You might not be able to afford everything. And a wish list is just that. It's a list that people wish they had. It is not a need list. And your needs should always be prioritized before the wants of other people or even yourself.
So we've all seen that new Mariah Carey commercial, right? With the elf? Yeah, where the one where she defrosts for Christmas while they all dance around pretending like life's all perfect. They are laughing in our faces. People are barely surviving, and these corporations keep shoving fake cheer down our throats like we forgot what the holidays used to mean. You've got families choosing between rent or gifts. Parents are maxing out credit cards just so their kids don't feel poor.
Yeah.
People are working overtime in November already, while ads tell us to slow down and enjoy the season. Nah, you enjoy it. We're too busy trying to afford it. They turned Christmas into a marketing campaign.
He's not lying at all. And I've been saying this for a couple of years. All of these holidays, actually, they're just marketed to you guys to keep you consistently spending. And then after Christmas, we about to be in New Year's. Y'all about to be spending all over again. You got to get you a New Year's outfit. After that, what we got? Valentine's Day. You got Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, Labor Day. Then you got people's birthdays you got to account for, anniversaries, weddings, school graduations, a whole bunch of stuff. And every time one of these events happens, many of y'all got your pocketbook out. Or even worse, you got your credit card out and you're swiping. You're getting loans. And the only one that's suffering is you. The corporations are making more money.
The lights, the music, the magic, all built to make you spend more money that you don't have, you don't need, to impress people who don't care. And then they have the nerve to sell it back as tradition obsession. Like joy has a price tag now. I don't hate Christmas. I hate what they've done to it because it used to mean something real. Now it's just another sale. So here's my message. Stop playing their game. Don't go broke trying to celebrate in a system that doesn't even let you live. Don't buy another thing you can't afford until life itself feels affordable again. Because until then, every dollar that we spend is another vote for the same system that's bleeding us dry.
Somebody needs to tell Mariah we good this year. We boycotting. People ain't hearing us, but they will.
You can't cancel Christmas.
Watch us.
Mariah Carey, for those of y'all that don't know, did this commercial with Sephora that had the internet and TikTok in pure madness and chaos for a few days. And it received a lot of backlash because people were upset that there were some elves in the commercial that were pretty much saying that they were canceling Christmas and they were going to go on strike, essentially boycotting Christmas. The real reason people didn't like that is because allegedly, if we just use our imagination, the elves were supposed to represent y'all, us, the American people, the American consumer, the shopper. And they're essentially like, yeah, we're gonna go on strike. And Mariah's like, you can't cancel Christmas. What you think this is? And she sing her little song and Christmas is back on. And I thought that was a crazy depiction because they're like telling y'all think y'all bigger than the program? You gonna drop this sale? And y'all gonna line up. You can say you're gonna strike all you want. We gonna slap this 50% sticker. Actually, we ain't even gonna do that. We just gonna slap the word sell on something and y'all gonna flock out like a bunch of birds. They didn't say that. That's just pretty much what I got. And I am curious to see how Christmas in 2025 will be looking on TikTok this year. Last year, y'all showed y'all tail like y'all do every year. But because this year we had things like a lot of layoffs, a lot of federal layoffs. We had a lot of government assistance programs shut down right before the holiday and then reopened, which was great for a lot of people who needed it. But we also had people who were furloughed, government employees, TSA agents. And what I think has happened is it's created a lot of uncertainty for a lot of people with their jobs, especially knowing that around the holiday seasons, a lot of these corporations start to lay people off. So what I believe is happening is people are looking out for their best interest and trying to be proactive instead of reactive. And many times during Christmas and the holidays, I've heard a lot of parents or a lot of people who are buying gifts for people say, hey, I'm gonna figure out a way. I'm gonna do what I need to do. They will actually go buy all this stuff, not knowing how they're gonna pay for it, but they have this strong belief that everything will be able to work itself out. And this year specifically, I don't think people are feeling that way. There is a different aroma in the air as far as shopping goes in 2025. And as much as Mariah Carey be singing, I don't know if it's enough to get everybody out shopping this year. According to this Business Insider article, 62% of the more than 2,000 respondents of the Bank of America's holiday survey said they expect financial strain tied to the holiday expenses. And 58% of the people said they feel gifts have gotten more expensive. And the takeaway is shoppers are shelling out more only to walk away with less. And 38% of people said they'll only buy gifts for their immediate family and close friends, while 23% have agreed with relatives to scale back their gift giving. And amongst those feeling financial strain, 87% plan to shop at discount stores to counter rising prices, while 51% say they'd consider buying a dupe, also known as a cheaper imitation of a luxury item.
Yeah, I think Christmas is canceled this year. No Black Friday, no Cyber Monday, sales prices that they try to pass on for people. But nobody else need no more TVs. We don't need no more TVs.
I said that last time. I said that in the Black Friday video. Y'all be TV'd down. One on every wall, too.
TVs getting cheaper, but food getting higher. That's crazy. I just saw a 60-inch in Walmart for like $250. I'm telling you, the American people have the opportunity over the next 2 quarters to completely cripple these corporations, because this is the holiday season. Ain't nobody buying no turkeys, ain't nobody buying no Hot Wheels and then them Barbie dream houses. And then come tax season, next quarter, ain't nobody buying and splurging on nothing else. And if there's one thing I know about the corporate level, they want their money. All right, their favorite color is green. They don't care nothing about red and blue. They're opportunists. They want that bread. And here's the thing, we can buy all the necessities as long as we don't buy all that extra. They're gonna suffer hard.
Something interesting about what he said is people are gonna buy the necessities. And again, nothing wrong with going Christmas shopping, but I fear that because of social media and a lot of people seeing other people's lives online, people are forgetting what is a necessity and what a want is. And it's actually a great topic to talk about because when you consume and buy a lot of wants and they're not necessities, especially when you don't have your financial life in order, you end up crippling yourself and putting yourself in a bad financial situation, oftentimes resulting in debt, which also then results in more overtime at work, resulting in more stress, resulting in your body breaking down. And seriously, for what? What was the thing that is so worth all of that? That's a question I really want you to think about as you're shopping this year.
Boycott, no presents. Christmas 2025, no presents. Just food, family, no presents. Have a great time. Save your money.
And y'all thought I was trying to be funny when I said the Grinch? No, according to this New York article post, the Grinch economy, Americans feeling stingy this holiday season as personal debt and economic uncertainty looms. And they really did y'all the dirtiest this year. In the Grinch economy, Americans aren't feeling festive. 67% believe the holidays will be less fun this year. 85% will spend the same or less than last year. 60% said they'll give less to charity, oh my. And 33% said they will apply for a new credit card to help pay for their gifts, y'all please. Not for the gifts. It's never that deep. And 43% said they won't be able to pay for gifts in full by the due date. So y'all are about to get hit with interest from the credit card companies or the loan providers. Worry about yourself first. And the reason I'm saying worry about yourself first is because according to this article, it says, in fact, 1 in 4 people are still paying off last year's holiday debt. That's according to Wallet Hub. If you still working on last year, how we gonna be worrying about this year? Unless you're planning to put yourself into more debt. I need y'all to be reasonable and be smart because I believe in you. I believe. You know this is a bad idea and you're tired of repeating the cycle.
And it seems as though the only place they have ears is on their pockets. So what if we start toying with the idea of boycotting, dare I say, Christmas? And I'm not talking don't celebrate Christmas. I'm talking let's take it back to what it was before Coca-Cola and all the other large conglomerates made it this nasty consumerism holiday anyways. Get together with family, make a meal together, play Cards Against Humanity, make homemade gifts. That's fine. But listen, I know somebody's listening to this video and they're like, I mean, you got my kids. It's 1 year. It's 1 year. And if your children don't understand that, then maybe it's time to start in an age-appropriate way, explaining to them that there are powers that be that want bad things and we don't like what's going on and we want to ensure that you have a beautiful life when you're a grown-up. To show them that we don't like what's going on, we're not doing Christmas presents this year. Even Santa is taking off.
Oh, y'all gonna tell the kids Santa taking off this year? I gotta see the videos. And I have nothing against people exercising their rights to boycott for financial reasons, for other reasons, because in the end, it all comes down to less people spending money, less people getting into debt, and putting themselves in bad financial situations for the following year. So in the end, sucks for the companies, but the way I see it, if refusing to go broke for Christmas for whatever reason means that you're about to be the Grinch, whoop-de-doo.
Here's my hot take for you today. Stop wasting money on Christmas gifts. Stop wasting money on Christmas gifts. I think that Christmas has gotten so out of hand that we buy gifts for so many people, and if you can't afford it, don't spend the money. Last year, I didn't have a job. I did not work last Christmas. I had no income. I barely bought any Christmas gifts. And let me tell you how nice that was. It was so nice. It was so nice to not have this long list of all these people buying gifts. I spend so much money on Christmas every year. So I literally said to myself, this year, I'm still in debt. So, you know, circumstances have only changed of I have a job now, I have income coming in, but I don't want to spend all this money on gifts. So I don't want a bunch of people to buy me gifts. I'm not going to buy people gifts. There's like 3 people on my list that are getting gifts from me this year. And it's okay to say no. Yeah. It's literally okay to say, let's not do Christmas. Let's not exchange gifts. Like, I'm not going to buy gifts. That's okay. Set that boundary because you don't need to be wasting all this money on spending money for Christmas. It's gotten out of hand. And if you're in debt and you're not in a good financial situation, don't don't. I highly recommend against it. I say you set a boundary. You don't need to spend the money and just be selective. At the end of the day, it's all about being selective on the people that you're buying for and how much you're spending on them. Don't go crazy and don't go into more.
And I couldn't agree with her more. Some of y'all go into debt every Christmas, like clockwork, year after year. And it's pretty sad because you know that you're gonna go broke every year and you do it anyway. It's like jumping off the diving board knowing good and well you can't swim, but y'all are doing it gladly? Gladly? Every year? Now, some would say doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results might be insanity. But who am I? However, I am a person that doesn't want to see you do that. And this is why when she said set boundaries, that's important. A lot of y'all don't have boundaries. Y'all are yes men and women. Y'all are a walking bank, a walking ATM, a walking lick. And I know this is the time of year a lot of people like to buy things for people they love and they like to dress it up under, well, I like to do nice things for people. That's just the type of person I am. And I understand that. Do something for the free ski. Do it for the low. Because why every time you got to do something nice for somebody, it's way over your personal budget, or you don't have a budget, or it puts you in a hole, and then a few months later you'll be right back in that same family member or friend's face asking for some money. What sense does that make? And if the only way you can show your love for somebody is to buy them a bunch of stuff, we might need to reevaluate that whole relationship. And I don't care who it is. I don't care if their love language is gift giving. Give a hug, give a smile, give some kind words like, I'm grateful to have you in my life and what a blessing you are. Why we gotta give things that cost money and debt? I need y'all to get more creative. And I know you can do it because y'all are smart. You see, I know y'all are smart.
I'm so sick of spending money on garbage. Why do I have sweatshirts and t-shirts that are 20 plus years old that are still in amazing condition? The quality is there. The things I bought within the last 6 months are falling apart. What? I had to replace a pair of Vans because I wore them for years and they had a hole going through the bottom. So it was time to replace them, right? So I bought a new pair of Vans. Tell me why the rubber is peeling away from the canvas already. I've had them for like 3 months maybe. Were they any cheaper? Absolutely not. We are paying full price for fast fashion quality. It keeps getting worse.
In polyester. I just had to add, in the polyester, it's out of hand. Somebody help us. Please! A bunch of plastic. Overpriced, recycled plastic is what most of us are wearing. If you don't believe me, look at the back of your shirts. Guarantee most of them polyester. And they're still gonna charge like $25 for it. Pure madness.
This is just a wake-up call for anybody that's still in denial. I don't know what side of TikTok you're on, but I'm on the side where people have decided that they will not be celebrating the holiday. Newsflash, I stopped celebrating the holidays several years ago.
Me too. And just for those of y'all who don't know, I said this last year. I know some of y'all are new here. I have my own reasons why I don't celebrate. But amongst one of those reasons is I've been hip to the game and I don't feel any pressure to buy anything for anybody on any holiday, not even a birthday. Yes. And I see nothing wrong with gift giving, but I'm tired of this whole shop on command. Shop because it's this day. Shop because it's that day. That's how they line y'all up every time, telling y'all when to shop, what to think, what to get, and then there's gonna be a bunch of TikTok influencers like, this is what you need to add to your wish list for this Christmas time coming up. You must add this to your cart. And by the way, check the link in my bio. Like, and trust me, I respect the hustle. I really do. But personally, nobody needs to be told when to shop all the time. That's exhausting. What if I just want to go to work and save my money? What if I want to go to work and budget? What if instead of buying a bunch of stuff, I want to go on a trip? What if I want to do something that is meaningful in another way besides participating in consumerism? Like, do we even think about these things? Probably not, because we have been conditioned to just buy stuff, just buy, and don't think nothing of it. And I've been seeing people do some different stuff this year for Christmas. They're going to do some vacations. Instead of buying a bunch of gifts, they're going to have some memories together. Some people say, hey, we gonna go fishing. That's going to be our new thing. Or they're making their own traditions, you know? And it doesn't have to be on Christmas, you know? I think people are over it.
Everybody that I am close with, I love you, but I'm not buying gifts, and please do not buy me gifts. I don't need another daggone thing in this house. The point of all this is to stop giving big corporations, big companies, big business our money. And there's no reason to spend money on me for anything when I'm probably not going to use it. So save your money. As a matter of fact, put that money in a high yield savings account.
Ooh, And I like her. I like the way you work that in there. Yes. Because while we talking about spending all this money on stuff, do y'all ever see them have ads telling y'all to do that? Telling you put some money away in your high yield savings account? I guarantee you're not seeing as many ads for your retirement as you are being fed to go buy a TV, to go buy some perfume, to go buy some makeup from Sephora, to go buy the newest PlayStation, Xbox, to go to Disney. You're not seeing, hey, here's something really helpful to help you prepare for your future. Hey, here's a way to budget your money better. No, you want to know why? If you actually paid attention to how much money you're spending and where you're spending it, you would notice you're buying a bunch of BS. You would see it yourself and you'd realize that you're the reason you're broke in a lot of these situations. Not everybody, okay? Don't get me wrong. We have nuance in all these conversations, but some of y'all are the reason you're broke. You make more than enough money. You spend it horribly. And then there's other people who don't make enough money who also spend it horribly. Also a bad combination. Ooh.
Make it make sense when you go into stores like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. I know, no slander. But my point is, when you go into these stores, you see the same things you saw last year. You see the same things you saw last year. So you mean to tell me that you don't have any of this stuff in your closets, in your attic, in your basement, in your storage unit? Really? Cancel the holidays.
How out of touch do you have to be to get annoyed that people are not participating in Christmas in 2025 given everything going on right now? I have seen several videos on TikTok, like today alone, of people talking about how Christmas shouldn't be boycotted because it's a holiday and for a lot of people it's sacred, it's important, and that there's memories, and if you have children and you're boycotting Christmas, that's selfish, and blah, blah, like going on rants about how there's other ways to boycott, but taking away Christmas is ridiculous. And it's like, babe, I'm sure some of them are doing this because of this, but do you realize that the majority of people that are boycotting Christmas, it's because they can't afford to do Christmas?
Yeah, that's more than enough reason to me. That's a natural boycott that should happen whenever you really don't have money, whenever you're broke. I know a lot of y'all don't like that word. Whenever you're broke, it's called a natural boycott. I just made that up. You know, when you start saying phrases like, I ain't got it, we got food at the house, who paying for that? When you start saying those phrases a little bit more frequently than normal, might be a telltale sign, some indication that you can't afford to be spending a whole bunch of money on elaborate gifts. I'm just saying, that might just be called being responsible, being an adult.
Definitely people that are boycotting Christmas because they don't want to feed into the capitalism of it all, but a lot of people can't feed into the capitalism all because they can't feed themselves. And it's so out of touch to go on the internet and complain that other people aren't spending their money. Why? Like, who cares? It's just crazy to me. Like, why do you care if other people boycott Christmas or not? It doesn't matter to you.
The only reason I could think is maybe they're a stockholder for one of the companies that you're trying to boycott. And I say this because I know a lot of people invest in stocks. When you mess with the bottom line of a company because you're boycotting, you're messing with the gains of the stockholders. Who are the stockholders? People who own the stocks in the stock market. And I know a lot of y'all don't like the stock market in the first place. Other than that, if you don't have stocks in the stock market, I don't really know why it would matter. The day traders get mad whenever prices are going up and they've been shorting a stock. Like, they have a reason to be like, oh my gosh, y'all are boycotting Target. It makes logical sense. They're trying to make money. They're trying to run up a bag. The people who are holding a stock long term, they don't want you talking bad about a stock, dragging it to the ground, because they hold the stock. The stock is losing value and they're a shareholder. Y'all have to understand how this stuff works. But a regular person with no dog in the fight being upset that you're not spending money, I'm not really sure why, because it doesn't really affect their money. But but there are also people who just don't want you to spend money because they don't want to see you broke. See, that's me. There's people like me. And people will say stuff like, why are you worried about how other people spend your money? Because I don't like to see people struggle. Struggle is not a good thing when you've done it to yourself because you're being reckless. And that's why I say I don't talk about rich people, because why would I be talking about somebody who can afford to do the things that they want to do and they're not putting themselves in a bad financial situation? We are the ones not raised with the financial literacy. We're the ones trying to figure it out. We're the ones that had parents that didn't teach us this stuff. So it really matters the perspective and the heart posture of the person you're talking to.
It doesn't make a difference to you. But if you are that self-centered that you can't imagine why other people might not want to participate this year or can't participate this year, that's insane to me. Personally, I'm doing a low-key Christmas. I'm thrifting the majority of my daughter's gifts. I'll do a haul to show you guys what I got. I bought a couple of things new, but we're not going huge this year. Partially because most people can't afford to. I would rather give her a smaller Christmas so that way I could donate to Angel Tree, because there's probably going to be a lot of kids on Angel Tree this year. But some people probably aren't boycotting because they just want to stick it to the man. Some people, the man stuck it to them so hard that they can't afford to do Christmas.
And honestly, that is what I think it is for most people. Yes, there are people who are boycotting. They do want to stick it to the man. But given all the things that we talked about earlier, the writing was on the wall. This was going to happen by default. It's too much uncertainty for the average American. Everything seems to keep going up except people's paychecks. The prices of gifts are going up. The prices of food are going up. And the deals given by the corporations on these holidays aren't even deals. A lot of the times, they are marked up increased prices, higher than they are on a normal day. And to think that that's not a slap in the face to the average person is crazy. Why would they want to shop to pay more? And if you continue to pay inflated prices, why would a corporation or a company lower their prices? If they know based off of what you're willing to pay, you're going to pay it. What may end up happening is supply and demand. Because what happens is when there's less demand for products and people aren't buying as much, a lot of the time the market has to make the adjustments and say, hey, we got to come down on the prices. Prices don't come down if you just continue to shop. We've seen that in the housing market where people were overbidding for houses. It will continue as long as you allow it to continue until you say, hey, this is getting a little bit out of hand. Y'all are pushing it to the limit. And I think we might be hitting that breaking point where people might have been pushed a wee too far. And whatever numbers they send out talking about, oh, we're having record sales for Black Friday. I don't believe that, not 1 second. Personally, I want to see the earnings reports from the companies. That's what I want to see. Because how the heck a lot of these companies talk about, oh, we having record sales for Black Friday, and y'all better not say none of that for Christmas either. 4 hours after Christmas. Where is this data coming from? We got to start being honest and thinking critically, y'all. If it's put out that y'all aren't making the difference, for many people, it would be discouraging, right? It'd be like, man, people said they was going to boycott. People said they was going to do X, Y, and Z. Why are they reporting record highs? It could be a scheme set up to throw a lot of people off their game, because the people I've been talking to ain't spending money like that in real life. And I think y'all need to talk to people in real life. People aren't doing it this year. That's the average sentiment, whether it's because people are trying to boycott or it's because they're tapped out of resources. Honestly, both of those things happening at the same time is a bad combination, but that's what's going on. So I definitely think they're going to feel it this year. But I need to know what y'all think. Is the new Grinch who stole Christmas really the American consumer this year in 2025? And what do you think about people saying they're not doing no shopping for Christmas this year? Do you believe them? Is this something that you're doing? And do you think that the companies are really feeling it? But we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.